And where did you qualify for the Gravel World Championship?
So to qualify for the Gravel World Championship, there's a couple ways of doing it. You can either qualify by participating in one of the UCI World Gravel Series races, and as long as you finish in the top 25% in your age group, or in the top 3, which is mostly the top 25 of your age group, you qualify. You can also qualify at your national championship. So those are the ways on how to qualify. There weren't that many in North America last year. There were only 2, one in Arkansas and then one in Canada. But then you also have the national championship. So you have 3 chances in North America to qualify. Yeah, and maybe next year you can be here too.
What category will you be racing in?
So I'm 52, so I'm going to be racing in the 50 to 55 age bracket. It usually goes every 5 years. So 50, 55, 55, 60. And I think once you hit over 65, you do the shorter courses.
How did you prepare this year? Anything special?
So the goal for me is usually not winning. I'm not the winning kind of gravel racer. My goal is to usually stay in the lead group. Well, I want to be in the first big group. So, which is hard enough for me to do. And what I've noticed that for me to stay in that first big group or lead group is I have to be able to do like 400 watts for about 5 minutes. Because every time I popped off like a group or something, I look at my power profile and it's like 400 watts, 4 or 5 minutes. And usually that just kind of pops me. So I've worked in interval sessions where I hold 400 watts for a minute, you know, have a good break, and then repeat it. Let's see if that works this year. Also, I've done a bunch of extra work as a plasterer this year because money was a bit tight. So I've been doing a lot of ceilings lately. So if there are any sections where you have to hold your bike over your head with one arm, I'm going to be winning.
You raced last year's World Championship in Italy. How did that go, and are there any lessons learnt that you can use in Belgium?
Italy was rough for me last year. I mean, I'm not a climber, and it was a climber's course. And then also, I didn't really have the gearing to set up for it. I was running a 2x11 and a 1134 cassette. I ended up walking a couple sections. Wasn't a pretty sight, but the atmosphere was electric, the food was great, the weather was awesome. Gravel racing in Italy, what are you gonna say? It was amazing. Did I learn anything? Yeah, I learned my gearing sucked. So this year with the new Renegade, I'm not gonna have that problem. So now I'm running a, what is it, a 1x12 with a 10x44 crazy gearing setup. No more walking for this guy.
What is your bike setup for this year? Any changes?
Absolutely. Actually, I changed everything. Yeah, so the bike's completely different now. The new Renegade is a lot lighter. Even so, I got heavier. The bike lost weight. The bike lost weight and I gained some weight. That's how it is. But the new Renegade's awesome. A couple of the main changes are tire size. I can fit up to 50s now into the new Renegade. I'm gonna run my favorite new gravel tire that I discovered. I've tested a bunch of brands. Some I like, didn't like. But this one, I love everything about it. It's the Conti Terror Speed in a 45. It's got a really nice round shape to it. It corners really well. It's super predictable. It rolls fast and it doesn't flat that easily. It's kind of my favorite tire right now. Also because I have this super easy gearing now, I'm not gonna run road pedals. I know. I'm not planning on getting off this year. Should be all right. Belgium is not Italy. The climbs are gonna be a little different. We might have mud or rain if everything works out well. Also, the frame geometry of the new Jameis Renegade is a little bit more mountain bikey. I mean, it's really fun to descend. A little more confidence inspiring. Like I was lacking confidence. It's a little bit longer. It's got a flip chip. Yeah, it's a lot more stable. Looking forward to ripping down all the future downhills from now. A little bigger tires, a little more cush. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
What are your goals for the race?
So I'd love to finish in the first group, if there are any groups. The first large group, that would like to be. That would be amazing. The course could actually be a little bit in my favor since there's not going to be any massive, huge climbs. It's going to be up and down. It's going to be super punchy. And the cobbles, I've raced in Belgium before, can be a little tricky. Actually, if it were to rain and get slippery, I wouldn't mind. The more technical, the better. But yeah, lowered expectations. If I can finish in the first large group, that'd be amazing. That'd be, whatever position that is, I'd be thrilled. But I give it all I got.
Besides the race, what are you looking forward to the most?
Well, riding my bike in Belgium all week, enjoying the bicycle infrastructure, racing in front of fanatic Belgium cycling fans, the food, the atmosphere, the party. And then after I'm done racing on Saturday, I get to watch the Pro Men Elite Gravel World Championship on Sunday. I mean, could it be any better? I don't think so.
Are you planning on qualifying next year again?
Yeah, qualifying for Gravel World Championship seems like a goal we have every year. But it does appear to get a little bit harder every year. I mean, the fields are getting deeper, competition's getting faster. We'll try again next year.
How can you afford to travel to these races?
We try to budget our season pretty, goal-oriented. So we pick the races that we want to go to because we haven't been there, we haven't seen them, and they sound interesting to us. If we've done something already once, we might not go back there again. So we do maybe do less races so that we can do the races that we want to do. So if you think about doing like 2 or 3 big races less in the US, which will be equal to maybe 1 race in Europe, I'll do that 1 race in Europe and have memories that'll last a lifetime, instead of doing the same race over here in the US. If I've been there, I might not want to go back again. I'll just see something different. It's also, bucket list. Gotta work on that.
Do you have any wishes on how gravel racing should be in the future?
Well, I actually think the UCI shouldn't monkey around with gravel too much. It's pretty good right now the way it is. I do love fix your own stuff, like not having support vehicles. I mean, I would hate to see spare bikes or wheels on motorcycles or whatever. I don't even like them in the aid station. I wish they would get rid of that. So the less stuff that is outside help, the better it'll be. So fix your own flat, I'm a big fan of that, because that'll eliminate a bunch of people that never really fix their own flat. I also do like what most gravel races are now, are really large from A to B courses or big loops. I'm not a big fan of the short circuits where you have to do like 4 or 5 laps. So that is not gravel for me. I do like going from A to B or 1 large loop. So if they can keep doing that, I'm all game for it. So it is kind of where it is perfectly right now. I just don't think the UCI should monkey around with it too much. And plus, they should definitely keep the Masters class at the World Championship the way it is right now. I mean, it's a built-in audience. We also support the series with money and entry fees and hotel and travel. So it's kind of a big plus for them. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the early 90s when mountain biking was one large, huge family and the Masters class would race the same weekend at the same venue than the pros. And they got rid of us eventually, or they got rid of the Masters class then. So hopefully the UCI doesn't get rid of the Masters class at Gravel Worlds. It would be very sad, yet I wouldn't be surprised. So keep fingers crossed, but if you want to do it, do it. You never know. I've seen it done before, so don't count on it.